Hi there, welcome to my channel. Well, here's an update on my portfolio. We're at $213,260.57 today. And today I did make a purchase. I decided to buy some XPay. So if we scroll over here, here's XPay. And I did end up buying 35 shares of XPay for an average cost of $54.85, just about $2,000 worth of XPay, which is currently at $55.09. So it did go up a little bit today. After examining all these different ETFs that I own, which I've been comparing them, pretty much all of them, to the S&P 500, and in total return, they do compare to the S&P 500 quite well. But when it comes to price return, that's where they all fall short. And so let me show you guys something once again here in the comparison tool. I've got the S&P 500 SPY and SPY-I. Now SPY-I has been around for 3 years, so there is 3 years worth of information here on SPY-I. And so here's the thing here. Here's the deal. If you would have bought the S&P 500 3 years ago, you'd have over a 75% return. If you would have bought SPY-I, you'd have just a little bit over a 56% return. Okay, so there's a large gap right there. There's a large gap difference, right? Because of the covered calls, because it's capped upside on SPY-I. And so if we go over here to the calculator, we can do the calculation here. Well, no, I got to make that a little bit larger. Let's see if we can change this to, oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see if we can change this into half and half, I guess. Okay, there we are. So if I do it's 75. Let's just go 75%. 75%. And let's say that you invested $100,000 into SPY. So 100,000. Okay, wait a minute. No, I messed that up a bit. Let's scratch that off. So 75% of 100,000. That would be 75,000. So you would have $175,000 if you would have just invested in SPY. Okay. Now let's say that you had just invested in SPY-I, same amount. It's about 56. It was about 56%. So let's do the math there. 56% of 100,000. You would have $156,000 if you would have just bought SPY-I. So let's see the price difference there. One is 175,000 minus 156,000. So it's almost close to $20,000 difference. So if you just would have bought SPY, you'd have $20,000 more had you done this when SPY-I first came out. So it kind of gets you to think like, well, wait a minute, wouldn't I just have been better off buying the S&P 500 in the first place instead of trying to buy these income-producing ETFs? You probably would have been better off. I would have been better off just buying the S&P 500, because if we go back to my Robinhood account and just look for SPY, SPY, as we can see here in the 5-year track record, or let's just go to the maximum. I mean, it's done over 400%. And I started investing back in 2016, right around here is when I started investing. So I would have probably just been better off just buying SPY instead of trying to buy all these different. Back then in 2016, I was doing all kinds of different stuff. I was mostly day trading, and for a time, it was going well. You know, but I stopped day trading because I was day trading on my phone, and so I would have to pull out my phone at work during work hours to see how my trades were going. You know, they were going well. I was making money by trading. I was actually trading VTI. You may know about that ETF. It's VTI or VTI Vanguard, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. This is what I started buying, and this is what I started trading. But the problem was that I had to pull out my phone every few minutes, every minute, while I was at work during work hours. And it was okay. I was able to do it, but I was looking for an alternative, right? So that I didn't have to be pulling out my phone, stop doing my job, pull out my phone and trade, right? So I was looking for some alternative, and then sometime later, these ETFs came out, right? SPY, um, um, and all these different ETFs that now generate income with covered calls. But I've been thinking, well, what if I just owned SPY, right? If I just owned SPY and just allow it to do what it does, and if I need money to pay for bills, why not just take that money out of margin, right? If it's not convenient to sell on that day, to sell shares on that day, because it's not a green day, then you can always use a little bit of margin to pay for your bills. So I was thinking like, well, wait a minute, I can just use a little bit of margin to pay for my bills. And then when it is a really green day, I can just sell some shares to reduce my margin. Not only that, I mean, I could day trade SPY, or if I see that it pumps a lot, I can sell some off and you know, like core compounding, right? Um, Sell a little bit off the top, hold it for cash, and then redeploy it later. I mean, you can even. Um, I was even thinking like, why can't I just still continue to invest all of my income like I've been doing? Continue investing all my income, except for now, I'm going to invest it all into SPY. I mean, why hold anything else? Why own SPY? Why own QQQI, right? When you could just own SPY, just own the S&P 500. It trades even, you know, like 24/7 in the after hours. You can sell it even in the after hours. Trading options on it, there's so many things you can do. You can trade daily options on it. Um, um, you can trade daily options that are so far out of the money that it's more than likely not to even get called away, right? I mean, you can sell a call on a daily basis and aim for the highest uh, price and make like maybe $100, with the amount of money that I have. Um, I think I can easily generate $100 a day um, by selling daily covered calls. $100 a day maybe isn't much, but it's something. And the S&P outperforms all these ETFs, right? SPY is not going to catch up to the S&P 500. QQQI is probably not going to catch up to the S&P 500. And I think the longer term that you hold, like SPY and any of these other ETFs, they're simply not going to catch up to the S&P 500. They're just not. And so I'm still thinking about it. Um, I'm still thinking about it, whether I should just um, sell everything and just throw it all in the S&P 500. Although I don't know, if this is such a great time to do it now, because the better time to do it would have been right here, right? This would have been the best time to do that because the S&P has already gone up right here. So, but I'm still thinking of maybe doing that. And you know, you need some money, sell some shares, right? The S&P 500 just keeps rising. So, need some money, sell some shares. Um, you need some money and it's not a convenient time to sell because it's in the red, borrow some money, right? Borrow against it and just continue um, investing all of my income into it. You want to sell some daily covered calls? I mean, you can sell a daily covered call that is very, very far, far out of the money. If we look here um, in the trade spy options, if we sell a call, you can sell a daily call. Keep in mind, I have not seen this here on my computer. I've been doing this on my phone. If I have been selling calls, which I have been occasionally, and it expires today, which is the 4th. But you need to do it for the following day, which is the 5th, which is one day. All right. So you're selling a call, and if we look at the this the prices here, and scroll down. Okay, there is the share price currently. So if you're able to buy it for 684, right? 684. Currently, if we go back to my calculator here, and let's say I buy 200 shares, or I can buy actually 300 shares. I can buy 300 shares times 684. That equals, yeah, I can buy 300 shares. So let's say I own 300 shares of SPY, right? And you want to sell a call. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, let's make it even smaller if we can. No, I guess that's as small as it'll go. So I have 300 shares. I want to sell a call. Let's see if we can move this over. Let me just close it for now. So you bought the shares at 684, and you want to sell some. You want to make at least $100, right? You can sell this one right here for 34 cents, right? It's at 688. Now, is it possible for the S&P 500 to rise in one single day from 684 to 688? Maybe, right? Or if you don't want them to get called away, sell the highest one. Sell this one, 18, right? At 18, or let's go for 18, right? So it would be 300 times 18. Oh, sorry. It's 300 times 18 cents. So let's do that again. I made a mistake there. It's 300 times 0.18. That would be $54. So you can make an extra $54 in the day, and the shares probably won't get called away from you because the strike price is 689. Right now, if you do the 34, that's 300 times 0.34. That would make you $100, right? So this would make you $100, and if it does happen to get called away from you, you bought it for 684, it gets called away at 688. So there's a lot of upside right there. There's about another $4 worth of upside. So that's another 4 times 300, which would be $1,200. So you'd make 100 on the call, and if it gets called away from you, you make an extra $1,200 in one day, in in a matter of hours. So I'm thinking that probably my best option is to just own the S&P 500. That's what I'm thinking of doing. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. If you guys got any questions or comments, or if you think it's a bad idea, if you think it's a great idea, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm still thinking about doing it. I'm not sure if I am going to do it. I may do that. Um, it may be better for me to do that. I don't know. So please leave me a comment down below if you guys got any questions. If you think it's foolish, to do what I'm thinking of doing, let me know. Let me know. Give me your idea. Give me your plan. Thanks for watching. God bless. We will catch you in the next video. Bye.